Yo, what's good, you guys? Rasati out here in Singapore. It's about 5 minutes to midnight, and I'm just, sitting here reflecting over the day a little bit. I just went live on Instagram to kind of get used to doing that because I don't go live that often anymore unless I have a class to teach, which is often, but still, I want to be there. I want to know you guys. I want to get to know what's going on with you. I want to know exactly what it is you need from me so I can be literally creating for you, right? Instead of creating what I think is necessary. I'd rather know what you need and then do that. Anyway, so went to this viral video masterclass thinking, I'm going to learn what it means to get viral, to make these videos that go crazy and everybody loves and people share without thinking twice. Like, that's what I want, right? Obviously. But then I got to thinking about what it is that we share. We share cat videos. We share stuff that jackass spawned, which is, silly videos where you're pranking each other or you're picking on each other or you're doing dumb stuff like, things that go wrong. We have I saw a video the other day and I'm pretty sure that one of the greats, I think it was like Grant Cardone maybe, that shared it, and it was these two kids who were standing near a trash can, and somebody in their infinite wisdom is videotaping these two kids that are standing in front of a trash can, and they're taking turns stepping on the little pedal thing so that the trash can opens and hits the other one in the face. This is what we've been reduced to, people. This is the height of our intellect at the moment. And I get it, okay? It's fun, it's lighthearted, you're not really trying to think about anything in particular. And I'm looking at what these influencers are sharing and promoting, and what they're what they're curating, basically. The content that they're creating, the stuff that they're promoting, all that stuff. And I'm looking like, product? Okay, easy. Promoting someone else's product means you get free product. So obviously that's a win-win there, right? What else? I see people promoting TikTok videos. I see people talking about other people's work, which is critic work, right? It's pretty easy. You offer up your opinion, like you're an expert or whatever, and then people weigh in on whether you're right or not. So I mean, it's pretty easy. There's not a lot of skin in the game in that case. And then I look at people who are really making a difference, and the ones that have got like a lot of views are the ones that are kind of yelling at us, which we kind of do need a kick in the pants to kind of wake up as a society. So Gary Vee, tons of views, right? E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, tons of views. And then obviously people who have made it, like Ellen, she's doing good things. She does fun things and interesting things as well, but she worked for that platform, for that reach, and that didn't happen overnight. But when you look at, Instagram celebrities or influencers, I guess, that don't really promote much of anything. They do silly things like they create videos on YouTube. They make fun of people. They co-sign to causes every so often, but it's usually very safe stuff. Like right now, there's an influencer that I'm pretty good friends. I'd consider myself good Instagram friends with him, and he's a nice guy, okay. And I'm not knocking him at all, but he and his best friend are both considered influencers, and one shares TikTok videos and makes fun of people, and the other posts deep thoughts that are created by other people, but neither one of them will show up live to speak about any one of those issues. They'll co-sign, but they won't show up and speak about those issues. And I'm wondering, like, are you going to pick a side? Are you going to get up there and talk about what you feel and become the kind of person that you really, really want? I can see you want to become that. I've had conversations with them. They want to become these really deep influencers, but they're afraid to pick a side. They're afraid to stand up for something. And it's not a bad thing. They've gotten this far. I mean, they're to the point where they know they want the next level, but they're not sure if they can commit to it or not. And that's cool. So there are those people that are willing to get on live. They happily, will sit there and talk. I've had people that get on live and just sit and do nothing and wait for people to speak to them. And that's cool too. That's one way to get to know people, I guess, or at least to show up and prove to people that you exist. I've seen people who will touch a subject and then run the other direction. They will mention that, oh, I don't like this, and then they'll change the subject and talk about something else instead of going into detail about what is it that you don't like, what is it you don't understand maybe, what is it you wish the world could change about. And you all know me. I get on live and I talk about some major things. When I get on live with somebody, I usually let them talk about themselves. And if I'm teaching a class, whether it's with Avina or Wildlove Nation or a host of other people that I've taught classes with, it's about something that I really would love to change. I'm trying to show you that there are other ways to think. There are other ways that you could be a solution in your community rather than just exacerbating the same situation over and over again. So I try really hard to actually stand for something. I don't want to be here, just wasting hot air and wasting your time, because that's it's a waste of time. It's a waste of space and a waste of energy. And that's not who I am. I want to be the kind of person that really does evoke change. I want to be able to start with myself, change myself, show you that it's safe to change because I did it myself, and then let you find yourself so you can be the best possible version of you. Case in point, I have been I've been getting a lot of messages about helping men and the way they see themselves. I think a lot of times men are told to shut up and suck it up and rub some dirt in it, and you're not allowed to cry and all those things. And it's generations and generations of people saying the same thing over and over again that does not allow men to really get in touch with their feelings. And the minute they do get in touch with their feelings, a lot of y'all want to just mime or meme that and talk about, oh, he's effeminate, he's girly, he's gay. It's not like that. You're allowed to talk about your feelings. You're allowed to tell people what you do and don't like, basically. That's basically all your feelings are, talking about what you do and don't like. So I really, really wish that I could change that space for men. I think women are pretty good about talking about their feelings. I think they're really good about getting together and bitching and complaining. And those people who are slowly waking up understand that, okay, I could sit and complain about it, or I could go do something about it so that I no longer have that to complain about, that I've changed something in my atmosphere, in my immediate atmosphere, that I can make a difference about. So here I am, driven to create a different landscape, to push talk therapy, because I feel like there's not enough of it. And I'm putting my foot in the mud. Like, I'm really like standing in the muck, talking about stuff like divorce, talking about stuff like sex education for children and what they aren't being taught, sex education for adults, how to communicate, how to avoid, drama and confrontation, how to do, conflict resolution in your marriage, how to how to navigate grief when it comes to losing a pregnancy, whether it be forced or by accident, as in abortion versus miscarriage. I'm being driven to talk about things like single parenthood versus a two-parent household where both parents are at odds with each other all the time, which is worse. Talking about the school system here in Singapore and how our kids are kind of falling through the gaps because all they're taught to do is to regurgitate information rather than to understand and tell us in their own words so that I know that you know what you're talking about. So there are a lot of different issues that I'm being encouraged to talk about because it kind of flares for me. It kind of triggers me a little bit. So I have no problem drawing a line in the sand and then choosing a side to stand on. But more than that, I also know that that line actually doesn't exist. There is no black and white. There is no us and them. There's a whole lot of gray out there. And that's where I live. I live in the gray. Because in my experience, if I sit down and talk to somebody who you might consider a terrorist, if I talk to him and understand where he came from, how he grew up, what he was taught, what he was allowed to do, what he loves about life, what he hates about life, you'll probably find more things in common with him than you would if you only saw him as a terrorist. If you see him as a human being, there are lots of points of connection for you guys. So I live in the gray. I experience the gray on a daily basis. I understand that we are all living in the gray. That also means that you need to understand that your choices are yours alone. No one can feel what you feel. No one can feel the pressure like you feel the pressure. And that's why you choose what you choose. Looking from the outside, unless you explain it to us, we're going to assume that you made a silly mistake or a hurried decision, that you didn't think something through, or you didn't know all the information, you didn't think to ask, and you made a rash decision. We can make any kind of assumption if we wanted to. That's our prerogative. But we can't force you to adopt what we believe. And you can't do the same to us either. So right now, even though I named this pick a side, what I would love to see is for y'all to stand up and share your experience with whatever the issue is. If you have no experience whatsoever, tell people, hey, you know what? I know this is a big issue right now. I see how, migrant workers and the way they're being treated in Singapore is a difficult thing. I don't specifically know a lot about the issue. I don't know that many people who are migrant workers, but I do see them tired. I do see them sleeping, in the middle of the day in corners where they can because it's too hot to work, and it's, and they have a lunch break that they try to sleep during their lunch break so that they can be rested and ready to do the rest of the menial labor that they're expected to do. So I wish, and I'm going to make a space for it so that it's no longer a wish, but I honestly wish that people had space and felt safe enough to talk about everything. The things you know, the things you don't know, the things you wish you know, the things you don't understand. Because trust me, baby, there's like a really long list of things I don't understand. And if I don't understand them, I know some of y'all probably don't understand them either. And if that's the case, the best thing I can do for society at large is to ask the questions, to provide the table, the red table talks that, Jada Pinkett Smith does, to provide the table that we can all come sit down at and talk about the things we don't understand. And then figure out how we can go about making it more public knowledge, making it less of a taboo to talk about or whatever, and allow people to really air out whatever's on their heart so they can feel better too. And you can maybe feel like you're not alone because maybe you're not the only one going through it. So, the message tonight is to all those people out there looking to create content, looking to reach somebody, looking to, became Insta famous, whatever, it doesn't matter. I would love for you to think about what it is you're creating and the intention behind that which you create. Fine, you want to make cat videos and you're good at it? Great, cool. But what is the intention? Is it to relieve our stress for a moment so we can laugh? Is it to distract us from whatever problems we're having? Because that could be a good thing, a little break for everybody. But whatever it is, I'm hoping you do it for the greater good. I'm hoping you're doing it because, one, you're good at it, and two, it will make a difference. But for me, I'm going to pick a side, and I'm going to talk about that side. And as much as I don't know about the other side, I'm going to ask questions about the other side. Because yes, pro-choice and pro-life, they do exist side by side. They may be at odds with each other sometimes, but they do exist side by side. And I think we need more conversations around that. So I'm going to take a stand. I'm going to tell you my story. I'm going to allow you to judge me. And then we can get the party rolling. We can get the talk started. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.